Welcome to the No Name Brand Podcast. My name is Sashka Hanarappel, actress, singer, dancer, turned brand marketing, sales, and advertising strategist who brands your soul. And each week I bring you an inspiring person or message to help you discover your undergod. Turn up your leadership notches, challenge the status quo, because you're fast and furious with a powerful message to share with the world. Thank you for taking time out with me today, and without further ado, let's get our creative and wisdom juices flowing. Welcome back, everyone. It's great to have you back on today's podcast. How has your week been? Are you paying attention to how you've grown from last week to this week? Sometimes we just see today and not how far you've come. Remember to acknowledge your successes too, okay? So today I'm excited to share our next guest with you. A crazy fairy, down to earth, and passionate about what she does. Her life story boggles your mind and you almost wonder, how can she possibly push through? But she does. She has tenacity, ambition, insight, and she's a clairvoyant coach. She doesn't see into the future, nor does she forecast your future, because it's not about that. It's about focusing on the now and having your doubts and fears replaced with a knowing that you're going to be all right, no matter what, and finding your strength in you. So, without further ado, let's dive into this week's episode with the one, the only, Sheelagh Maria Wright!
Hey, how are you, sister?
Oh, fine, thank you. And you?
It is so good to be here. Too long.
It's been way too long.
Yes.
I saw on my Facebook newsfeed yesterday, and it was a memory that they pulled up, and I wrote there, I fucking love working with Sheelagh Maria. And I'm like, oh, serendipity, and today I'm going to be interviewing you. How cool is that? So, share with our listeners, where are you in the world today?
Okay, so I live in a little black hole called Lincolnshire in the UK, and it is a black hole, and there's lots of holes here, but I'm not going to talk about that. So yeah, I'm in the UK and I work with people, amazing, incredible people all over the world. I'm a bit of a witch, really. I'm like one of those practical magic witches. If you ever remember Sandra Bullock, well, that would be me with wings. That would be me.
I love it. And that is you. Now, you weren't always a clairvoyant coach, or the clairvoyancy wasn't always there. Share with us how you came to hear the angels, dance with the fairies, practice magic.
I've known a few fairies in my time, not just the non-physical kind, but we won't go there. So in Lincolnshire, there's really two things, and that is sheep and farmers and Wellingtons. That's all I'm going to say. But I was a fat farmer's wife, not just a farmer's wife, a fat one. Yes, I was. I had short hair. And yeah, I don't have any. No, there's none of those circulating. But anyway, my little boy was born. Mother's instinct being what it was, I just knew something was wrong. And amazingly enough, I found it difficult to speak up then. I was ignored. That doesn't happen anymore. And he had no symptoms. Literally, we were discharged from the hospital. He was 2 days old. And I literally heard a voice say, get him back to the hospital now. And after I picked myself up off the floor, my husband at the time thought I was bonkers, which clearly I am. And I did take him to the hospital, and he was in terminal heart failure. He had 20 minutes left to live. So after I sort of got over the fact that this had happened, he had to have open heart surgery, and the voice showed up again post open heart surgery and said, he's dying again. And it was that blunt. And all the nurses sort of poo-pooed me. They said the reason he was crying was just reactions to the diclofenac, I think it was. But, you know, I spoke up again and the surgeon checked him, and he had what we called encardiitis, which is where causes growth in the heart. So that happened again. And my life went downhill. I went into a refuge. And I did the only thing I could do after starting my life again, which was helping people to hear angels. That's the only thing I could do. Well, I can't cook and I'm a crap cleaner. So the only thing I could do was teach them to do what I've done. And I found myself working on the psychic lines. I'd be working with 10 mistresses an evening. Not my mistresses, they were mistresses. I haven't got that much energy. And it spread. I started writing for an American site. By this point, I was divorced and they literally bought me Mr. Right. So his name is Mr. Right, Sheelagh Wright. So that was good. I think the thing I'm passionate about, Sash, there's absolutely no reason why everybody cannot and should not do this. If you have guides, if you've got a cooker, you wouldn't wait for someone to come round and cook your meals. Most of us would be waiting a long time. You would learn to cook. If you've got a car, you learn to drive. If you've got guides, it just makes sense that you wouldn't wait for somebody special to learn to connect with them, because you're like missing the point. Everybody can do this. I guess that's my bugbear, is that you look at mediums, and I am a trained trance medium. Don't like it, but I am. I'm a trained medium. Don't like it, but I am. And what they would have you think is that they see the dead walking around all the time. And that's a load of baloney. My husband's a medium. My eldest daughter sees the dead maybe once or twice a year. And what a lot of mediums do is they see the person in their mind's eye and they feel the energy of where the person is. But it's an internal thing. I do see angels, angelic energy, but I don't see and hear externally like I did on the day that my son was ill, because I'd be even more crazy than I am. I'd just be like away with the fairies and I would be of no use to anyone. The truth is, that's how a lot of them make their money, is because they make out they're special. Well, we're all Bethel. We're all able to do that. We've all got the ability to connect with energy because we are energy. And there are energies which are better for us to connect with personally. So, I mean, I see a lot of would-be mediums that are not meant to be mediums because the human energy is too low for them. So I see in a lot of development groups, women that are trying to be something they're not supposed to be. But when you work with the energy that matches you, and the energy of your guide always matches you. Are we on video? Because I've got a really bad diagram I'd like to show. I promise they're really bad. So first of all, here we go. This is Sashka, right? Sashka was thought into reality by her higher self, who is on the 5th dimension. You're not the only one. You've got doppelgangers. There are actually 9 versions of you on Earth right now, living different lives, and all the shizzle that they're going through affects you. It's like a domino effect. So the law of attraction is horizontal, not just universal. It does take it every way. So these versions of you from your higher self comes on your monad self, your God self. When you grow, your higher self grows, and then God grows. Now, moving on to the next really bad diagram, your higher self, and I can't do backwards writing, we're not that clever. Big hairdo here. Your higher self lives in a realm with many other light beings that contain your frequency. These are known as your soul family or your high guides. So you might have an archangel, you might have a fairy, you might have a wise one, you might have people that have been incarnated with you in previous lives, but they all share your frequency. So the idea is that this version of Sashka lives by bringing the energy of this higher version down. When you bring the energy of the higher version down, you also bring down the frequency of your guides. Your guides are with you. So it's you and them going shopping, you and them holding client sessions, you and them bonking your husband. That's a visual. Now, I want to take this even further. Final bad diagram, I promise. What most people do when they manifest is they try to use their thoughts and their feelings, which are on the fourth dimension. Okay, the fourth dimension is like playing a fruit machine that only lets you win at the most £10. There was a fruit machine that let you win £500, that would be the machine to play. What most people do is they try to manifest by controlling their thoughts and monitoring their feelings. All you get back is a tiny payout manifesting in the so-called real world, because the fourth dimension is not where the action's at. We need to be taking all of our growth up to our higher self, who lives in a realm with our gangbanger buddies, and all of this energy at the fifth dimension, which is the dimension of the soul. Yes, it includes your thoughts and your feelings. It also includes the soul contracts that you have with your family, your friends, your clients. It includes the energy of the collective, of the tribes that we're a part of. So, for example, anybody that's listening to this, which is part of an active Facebook group, if you're active in that Facebook group, that is part of the energy which will affect you. If you're part of a networking group, their energy will be part of what you're manifesting with. Everybody's energy sits next to each other. It touches. That's known as our auric field. So when people are only seeing partial manifestation by controlling their thoughts and monitoring their feelings, only working on the fourth dimension, when you go up and you connect with your higher self and you operate here with the support of your guides as your higher self, what happens is what you're manifesting encompasses everything. So the energy that you will manifest through, opportunities will come through the tribes that you inhabit, including your Facebook groups, including your networking group, including the mother and toddler group that you go to on a Tuesday night. So the energy of the fifth dimension doesn't just give you a payout, it gives a payout in the people around you. So very often people will say to me, well, my business isn't making any money, but my brother has offered to pay my mortgage this month, but I didn't manifest that. That's wrong. I can't take it. Well, at the fifth dimension, you have a soul contract with your brother, and karmically, you have manifested that money. It's coming from the fifth dimension through him. So what I want people to understand is the benefits of working with their guides. It isn't just about being cystic smeg or telepathic. It's not about that, although it's pretty cool. It's definitely about being able to tap into what is meant for us. So our real purpose on earth is not to try and be something to get something. That's how people that manifest try to work. I'll be something so I get something. But you only ever get part of something because we want to be in the future and we're always here. And obviously the future never comes. Your real purpose on earth is to look for the places that contain your frequency. This is a frequency that is your guide, but it's not just about your guides, it's about the people that contain your frequency. So your future clients, there'll be something about your energy which touches them like a magnet. There will be future mentors for you. There's something about their energy which draws you. There will be future radio interviews where the energy of the host and your energy is aligned, and that's why they picked you as a guest. A future publisher, there's something about Brian the publisher and his energy which is connected to you, and that's why you get that publishing deal. So our purpose on earth is twofold. Number one, it is to find more of our frequency in the environment that we inhabit right now. So there is no point trying to move into the future if you're not inhabiting the now moment properly. If you're not taking all the opportunities that are right for you here, your own magnet. You're not going to manifest any up there. It doesn't matter if you control your thoughts till your bum squeaks. It's not going to make no difference. But if you take the opportunities, and they're not just about your business, if you feel that there is a gym class which you would like to do, there's something about that gym class that contains your frequency because you want to do it. If you don't take that gym class, you may not manifest that radio interview or that book deal in 6 months' time. Our job is to expand our energy and our environment from where we are here. So, for example, I hear every would-be channeler or coach going, when am I going to be on stage? And I will say, when you've created a local coaching group, when you've created an online coaching group, when you have created ebooks, when you have created YouTube videos, when you have gone to your local networking group and done a free event there, when you've done workshops 30 miles away, then you do a seminar 50 miles away, you grow the environments you're in from within the environment that you're in. You don't move to the future, you simply move your boundaries out, and they're all full of your energy. So that's our first purpose on earth. Our second purpose on earth is to grow because we're constricted. When we constrict, we expand. What most people do is they stay in a constricted state because they're scared to expand. One of the things that is happening with your soul, she's going to keep sending you challenges until you either break or expand. And it's really only a matter of how much it's going to take for you to willingly expand. When you do willingly expand through the health diagnosis, or through the constriction financially, or through the rocky relationship situation, you realize that you were always safe. It was never going to mean that you were on the streets with nothing. You were never going to be cheated on or hurt, but you believe that from your constricted state. When you expand, your soul expands, your monad self expands, the other highest selves expand, God expands, creation expands, and then that energy comes down to us. So it's not about manifesting by controlling diddly. We cannot make energy do anything it's not going to do. What we can do is increase the flow of energy. Now, one of the things I'd like to do, Sash, if this is okay, is I'd like to talk about the 5 different soul types and how each of those soul types manifests in a completely unique manner. Would that be okay?
I'm just blown away. I'm like, come on to the interview. I've got my questions and everything. And then Sheilagh's like, let's go. And I'm like, oh, all right, let's go with the flow.
This is my guide. That I am a gobshite. We know that. Okay. So there's 5 soul types. Every soul type manifests in a different way. You get the earth soul. The earth soul has spent most of their lifetimes on earth. They're very reliable, very consistent, very grounded, very balanced, and find it difficult to manifest anything bigger than where they are because they're looking at the examples of life on earth so far. They need to get their energy higher than the earth plane in order to manifest. Otherwise, it's like trying to win a race in a Mini Cooper, an old one, when they really need to be in an Audi Quattro. So earth souls need to speed up their vibration. They need to evolve. They need to heighten their shake rate. The faster we vibrate, the easier it is for our guides to talk to us because they're vibrating fast. I look as though I'm masturbating here. I promise I'm not. But although I will tell you, I did buy a huge Ayurvedic vibrator last week. It's massive. It's for toxins in the body. I was told I mustn't try and insert it. I'm like, I've had 4 kids, but it's not that big. I don't think it's that big. Anyway, second soul type is the elemental soul. The elemental soul has spent lifetimes as part of the elements. So you might have been a part of the wind, part of the ocean. You will also have spent lifetimes where the seasons dictated your lifespan. Elemental souls are very, well, I'm partially an elemental soul. Elemental souls need to ground their energy because they've got this high energy. Unless they ground it, they open up pathways, but they never know which pathway to move down. So an average elemental soul might go, well, I want a new job, but I don't know whether I should go for that one or that one. Or maybe I should go back to college and I should do that or that. And they never really manage to manifest anything solid because they're affected by the energy of the collective. Their energy is very movable, and they need to manifest by grounding their energy, making a short-term plan, and taking the steps that, like an earth soul, would already be taking. Then you've got what we call an angel soul. So an angel soul is somebody that came to earth to heal and to heal others. But they can have very big hearts, be very well-meaning, but have low self-esteem and not really believe that things can change. Because if they look at their family, they might see a lot of dysfunction. They might look at the economy and notice people that are going without. The angel soul can do everything for everybody else, not enough for themselves. There's a tad of the martyr there. Angel souls need to feel the presence of their angels. When they feel, and I'm going like this because it's something I did in the refuge, my angels were with me. It was me and the angels that would go to the court. It was me and the angels that would negotiate with my ex-husband. It was me and the angels that were helping other people in the refuge. And when an angel soul knows that they are with their angels, they don't feel isolated. They don't feel overwhelmed. Their true ability to manifest is intensified because they know that it can happen, because they know that they are supported. And their knowing is the only thing that's ever stopped them from manifesting. Finally, we have the galactic soul. So I'm a galactic soul. A galactic soul is somebody that's been an alien an awful lot. So we've been star beings. Are you ready for this? This is going to sound like a bit way off base. One of my mini-me's is a reptilian space commander called Ratar. There you go, I've just told you that. He's a reptilian, he's a lizard. Okay, it's pretty cool, but he's a lizard. So galactic souls have a very, very high energy. And what that means is they can be a little bit superior. They can be a little bit judgmental, and they can find it unpalatable to manifest money. They can find it spiritual or unpractical to take practical long-term steps. So galactic souls need to get the hell over themselves. They need to ground, and they need to do something with their lofty ideas. These are the perfectionists, the coaches that say, I want to earn 10 figures, but never actually get around to updating their website. These are the people that have got a lot of wisdom that nobody ever learns because they're looking at everything, and the idea of rolling up their sleeves and getting in there and getting on with it, they want to be the finished product already. They've got to be a pupil as well as having that other knowledge. So I think the one thing I would say to people, understand your energy. If you're trying to manifest something that isn't coming in, there is a very good reason for it. The time period that we're in now, Sashka, we've got this 500-year karmic cycle ending on January the 28th. What that means is, and this is obviously bearing in mind that people already think I'm barking, we have certain soulmates that we have swapped roles with many, many times. So, for example, I'm just going to do this with you, okay, if that's all right, Your little girl was your brother in a past life.
Cool.
Okay? So if I look at the soul contract between you and your lovely little girl, you are here. Can I just no, don't give me a name. Don't do that. I don't need that. You are here to teach her patience. She is here to teach you freedom, ease and freedom, because she isn't going to conform. She's going to challenge the establishment. She's very individual. Okay? So let's say that there's somebody in your life that things are not easy with. Let's say that somebody has an issue with their mother-in-law, or they have an issue with their husband. Any of those issues are not just from this life. They're from other lives when you had other dynamics. You might have been meeting them on the battlefield. You might have been under their tutorship as a novice nun or something, right? You might have been tortured by them as part of the Inquisition, whatever it was. Those karmic cycles are getting tighter and tighter and tighter, because you've got three types of human on the earth at the minute. You've got the one-dimensional human, whoops. The one-dimensional human who isn't going to grow, doesn't want to grow. They are supposed to be that way on earth at this point, when none of us are any more spiritual or any better than anyone else. You get the three-dimensional human who is beginning to wake up to their power. Nothing to do with belief in the afterlife. It's about awareness of ourself. And then you get the fifth dimensional human who understands the impact of their energy, may or may not have an interest in things that go bump in the night. That's not required, but is actively about their growth and is actively about integrating knowledge and is actively wanting to pass that out in the world in any way, such as, teachers, nurses, people that work in hospices, accountants, whatever it is, because it's not about what we do for a living. So these soul contracts will be with people that are one-dimensional, three-dimensional, or fifth-dimensional. The energy of those contracts is going to be causing eruptions, misunderstandings, breakdowns, breakthroughs, revelations between now and January. There are a lot of endings and a lot of new beginnings. So, for example, a long-term marriage that is just about on its last legs may need to get to the point where it looks as though it's going to split, for both of those people to realize how much the other person means to them, but their own growth is important too. And so it reestablishes itself in a new form. You might have reunions happening. The daughter that realizes the mother wasn't just a biatch, she was trying to help her daughter realize that life isn't a free ride. So what we've got happening in January is we've got the ending of a cycle. The next time all of us croak, we will not be incarnating with this group of people again. We will be moving to new soul groups. So the impact that has is it's going to change people's paths. So for example, if I look at your soul path, Sash, if that is all right, if I have permission to do that, I'm using my practical magic modality here. So your soul path, Sash, hang on a minute. Your soul path is moving into, so we are seeing you actually, and I know you've got your own workshops and things. I'm actually seeing you planning a retreat, like a proper retreat, not a spiritual retreat that's coming through my lens. It's like it's a proper retreat. That is what they're wanting you to do. Now, they're telling me that your soul objective for next year, just a minute, is success. Hoorah! It's success. So that is, God knows what my soul's objective is. I'm a bit worried about that. And the thing that you need to focus on to allow that to come in is to stand strong and firm. There's going to be situations that you really need to stand strong and firm in, that, you mustn't move on. Put other people first. You've got to stand strong. You've got to be obstinate. You've got to be stubborn. What people need to know is that other people's stuff is going to be finishing up between now and January. You need to look at, every person needs to look at, are you really supposed to be interfering in that person's path? You've got your own stuff to sort out. We all do. The other thing that we need to look at is if there is an area that isn't moving, there is a very good reason for it. And that's usually because your path is going in a direction different to what your mind thinks. So let's say you've got a coach that's got a program that she's set up. She's got a sales funnel that she's set up. She's got, a lead magnet that she's set up. And she launches it in the new year and there's no biters. She might have been working on that for 4 to 5 months. Her soul doesn't give a diddly. Her soul is going, bored, I want to go this way. So she could control her thoughts, monitor her feelings till her hair's my colour. It will make no difference because her soul is the one that's driving the car. She's actually the passenger. I'm being told 72% of people had a new soul path start at the end of September. Many people are only just edging onto it. Many people have still got personal stuff, and I don't look at soul purpose as being what we do for a living. Being a clairvoyant is not my sole purpose. It isn't my purpose. It is about doing our own personal growing, letting other people doing theirs, and it's about finding the path that is the most comfortable to us. Now, what a lot of people do is they go for a path they think they should be on, and it's too far away from their frequency. They're trying to pursue a path, and I did this. If you try to pursue a path which doesn't contain your energy, it will not be manifesting. It will not be moving forward. If it contains your frequency, there will be things that are coming in at intervals over the next 6 months, which are really going to allow you to speed up. You're going to be putting your roller boots on. So what we would say to people is look at your nearest and dearest. Look at whether they're growing or whether they've put the brakes on. This is another thing that happens. Women in particular try to heal other people because they're scared that they're going to lose them. So they try to heal their partner, they try to heal their friends so that the gap between them doesn't get bigger. But what happens, I feel another bad diagram coming on, just a minute.
I'd love to know that the last one of the soul group, or what was it, the soul?
Oh, that's an animal soul. That's an animal soul. I will go into that as well. Yes. So if you've got, hang on, let's do stick man.
So how many past lives have we actually had?
We can have millions.
Really?
Millions. Absolutely millions. And they're all occurring at the same time. So this is the husband. This is the wife who is trying to heal the husband. She's in his energy. What he does is he goes to the back of his energy, the back of the living room. Imagine your husband, and I'm using husbands as an example, because women do try to heal their man. But the man is literally penned in the corner, and he turns round and he voluntarily faces the wall and he goes like this, I will not grow. When we try to heal somebody or we try to make them grow, it's because of our fear. What they do is they sense you in their energy, they put the brakes on, they refuse to grow. So one of the things that everybody needs to do is sort their own stuff out. Leave your husband, leave your daughter, leave your best friend to sort themselves out. Be there for them, leave the door open. They won't grow whilst we're in their energy.
Yeah, because we're always wanting to mix in, we're always wanting to interfere. It doesn't work. They just put the brakes on. So the reason I didn't give the 5th soul type is it's not necessarily an easy experience for this soul type. It's an animal soul, and it's somebody that is very instinctual in a very physical way.
So their experiences are going to be quite chaotic. They might have dependencies, they might have tendencies to overeat or not to eat enough. They're a young soul. Now, nobody is any better than anyone else because of any definition we can give. It would be no good going to Tesco's and there being all managers, they're all managers, but there's no till girls. The till girls are as vital as the managers. The cleaners are as vital as the bosses that swan around. So somebody that's an animal soul is just a new soul. And we've all been at every level. Animal souls can be very, very successful at business. Often they can be more successful and earn more money because they're very connected to the material world, but they're very connected to their instincts as well. When we see people that are financially very successful and they don't appear to have done a lot for it, they're usually people that have animal souls. And that is just something because they recognize an opening or they recognize an opportunity and they've got no history karmically or in this life that tells them that they shouldn't do it. So they go and do it. And because they have no disbeliefs, because they have no hang-ups, they don't manifest resistance.
Do you do this because you offer a practitioner course? And
Yes.
in the practitioner course, are you helping coaches discover this within them, what soul group they are, so they also know, not the soul group, the 5 souls that they are, and who their soul group is and who to work with, so that they instinctively and intuitively knowing this is my direction or not. So what is your practitioner?
Okay, so I do have 2 courses and they are completely different. So what I do, I'm here to help people help themselves. I have no interest in people being dependent on me. I want people to help themselves and then go out and help others. So practical magic is where you learn to be Glenda the Good Witch. I'm not really a witch, I promise. And what you do is you learn about your own gifts. If you don't learn about your own gifts, then you're not going to be able to help anyone else. You also learn how to connect with energy remotely, so how to give readings. You also learn how to give clearings, abundance clearings. You learn how to give life purpose readings, and you work with the Akashic Records. A lot of the Akashic Record courses, I'll be honest, I think they're a complete rip-off. I probably shouldn't say that, but I am saying it because we can all connect to them. My interest is in people having the tools to really step into their power, but they are not to rely on anything I teach them. So what I'm doing in practical magic is I'm giving you a whistle-stop tour of the different energies that you can work with so that you find an energy that suits you, whether it's angels, goddesses, ascended masters, or the little green men. I also introduce you to your higher self as well. You don't have to work with any of those. Funnily enough, nearly all my practitioners that have graduated are mindset coaches. They would never have said that they were clairvoyant, and they get such a kick over knowing how easy it is, and they are brilliant. They are bloody brilliant. The other thing we do with this is we give you all the charts and we give you all the tuition so that you can actually look at the beliefs that need to be highlighted. You can look at the karmic energy that needs to be cleared. You can give people not just a title, because a title such as your life purpose is you're a healer, that doesn't really mean anything. When you explain to somebody and then you take the title away, they gain an understanding that they already had everything they need.
Yep.
So the practitioner course is about teaching people to connect with and give readings and clearings. After that, I want them to throw it away and carry on developing. I don't want them to get stuck in a cycle where they're looking at something and that's all they can give. So the idea is when you get to the end of the course, we open the gate and we let you go. So the other course we have is the Starlight course. And the Starlight course is where we really teach you to be your highest self on earth. We teach you about your frequency. We teach you about your past, your future, and your present. We look at your doppelgangers, your parallel lives, how their challenges are affecting you. We also get you connected to your high guides, so you're living with the support of your guides. Changes your life because you realize everything you experience, the good, the bad, and the ugly, it's all an extension of an aspect of us. So you don't get into that cycle where you're trying to manifest something that every time you open your eyes, you're aware that you don't have it. And that's the problem. You don't have it. How can I be happy about it? Don't tell me to trust. If I could trust, don't you think I would? But what we're doing in anything that you do with me, we're introducing you to the power that you already had. We're introducing you to the being that you came here to be and all the potential that comes with that. And yes, of course, we tell you about your soul type and we will look at your gifts and we will measure them and we will do the fandango or anything else. But it isn't about my course, it's about you. Because when people get excited about being who they came here to be, your energy increases and the universe just echoes that energy at you. So everything that you want, when you realize it isn't about, I want more money, so I'll pretend I'm abundant. Is it here yet? It's much more about, I'm having so much fun being the bonky, crazy person that I am. I'm not even thinking about where it's going to come because I feel like I'm at a party and I'm the only guest. And so when you're at the party, like Sashka's party with me would just be amazing. Do you remember London and me getting lost in the lift?
Yes.
Mrs. Doubtfire with me hat on backwards. Yeah, not good. When you're having a great time being who you are, people that love the fact that you are unashamedly who you are will come to you. They won't know why. They just will know they need to be in your energy. So this is where the clients find you. This is where the money finds you. This is where the men find you and the women. This is where Ayurvedic vibrators find you. This is where radio interviews find you. You don't have to make anything happen. You came here to be you. And if you're trying to be anything else, that's why things aren't happening.
Yeah.
I'm done.
I'm done. I love that because that's what I tell my clients as well. And it's exactly the same thing. I'm just giving you the tools, but you have to take those tools and actually put them into action. I can't do that for you because it's then my energy if I put it into action. So I can give you the makeup, I can give you the pretty brand, I can give you the look. So it's all you. But if you don't go out and do something, your soul group isn't going to see you and get that attraction. You're not going to be vibrating because you're just going to be sitting. Like you said, you got a car, but you're not driving it.
Yeah.
100%, 5,000,000% agree with that. And I want to talk some more, but the time has run out. So I have to give my last 2 questions. I didn't even get to all my other questions, but that was way better. So I'd love you to fill in the gaps of my 3 values, my core values. So creativity for you is?
Producing content that makes my heart expand.
I want to go.
Magic.
Yeah. Wisdom for you is?
Learning that we are everything we will ever want.
Nice. Passion for you is?
My Ayurvedic vibrator, of course. No. Passion for me is channeling people's guides. That's my passion.
I love that. Now, how would you want to change or challenge the world doing what you do? Or do you even want to do that?
I want everyone to stop looking at everybody else for the answer. I want people to have far more fun being the answer. I want people to stop talking about the state the world is in and create a new world from wherever they're sitting right now. I want people to realize that we are not limited. And anytime somebody mentions removing a limiting belief, the point of a limit is that you're supposed to find out it was never real. That's it.
hallelujah, and the heavens open,
Yes.
and the choir singing. Oh, heaven. Sheelagh, I loved having you here. You communicate straight to my higher self. It's
Oh, bless you.
push the envelope on such a philosophical, psychological level that I'm just like, how the flip did she know that?
I honestly, I have no clue. I haven't even got to the hairbrush this morning.
I love it.
I just want to have fun, really.
Yeah, Cindy Lauper, here we come.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being with us here and sharing your knowledge with us and sharing your fun with us. That's the most important thing. And letting us know that the answers are within us is just ask the right questions. Well, just ask the questions.
And don't wait for the answer. Get out and have fun whilst you're waiting for that to happen.
Oh, I love that. I love that. And our listeners will be able to find out in the show notes more about you, where they can find you online and social media. Join your newsletter because you've got the best videos that really speak straight to you. And I can't wait to have you here again. I'm really looking forward to that.
Thank you so much for having me. Sorry for being naughty.
All good. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Love you. Bye-bye.
Dang, that was just supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. I enjoyed having you on board, and please do me and you a favor. Head on over to iTunes, SoundCloud, or Stitcher. Click subscribe, and a super bonus, leave your review and you stand a chance of being announced and advertised on the show. I'm always striving to ensure that your brand is uplifted and empowered. Remember, done is better than perfect. So be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and send in your feedback too. You're the absolute best. Keep rocking.